What's going on YouTube? Sean Barnett here, representing Fusion Media Group. Coming to you today because I'm bringing you a video which I don't normally do, but I felt I must do due to the fact that we have little reviews or user feedback on this product I'm reviewing today. What I'm going to be reviewing today is the Feelworld EVF Pro, or branded by some other brands such as Seetec, China World, Indipro Tools EVF. So basically, this EVF has been out for about 3 to 4 months. And it's a pretty affordable price. So it's definitely a good introductory EVF if you're looking to get into using the EVF whenever you're on your shoots, but not looking to pay the Zacuto or Small HD or other expensive brand prices. So what we're going to do today is we're going to play around with this EVF, check out what some of the features are, see how well it captures the image, and will be able to work for you while you're on your shoots. So let's get started. Alright, so I basically gave you a brief summary of this EVF. Like I said, it's branded on a few other brands: Seetec, Feelworld, China World. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and give you a nice quick review of the exterior here. So far, what you see is you have your eye loop, you have your rubber cushion for your eye to rest on, and this also flips up. Now, if you're familiar with the Small HD series EVF, and I think the Z Finder as well, you know they have this feature, the flip up. Upon initial reviewing of the build, it's kind of a little plasticky, so you may want to consider being careful where you store this, how you store this, what you have this around when not in use, because it is very mildly plastic material, which seems very easy to break when being reckless. We're going to go on the back here. As you can see, this is right now, this battery adapter that I have is the Canon battery mount adapter. Now they sell these EVFs also with the Sony and Panasonic battery bracket adapter as well. So you can get them in a couple other battery options. But what I'm having this review is the E6 battery version. I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick view of the top here. As you can see, you have your on-off switch. You have your menu. You got your exit button. You have a minus and plus button, which serves as to go up or down. So basically, that's it on the forefront. You have at the bottom, you have 2 HDMI ports. You have your in and your output. The in is where you receive your signal. The out is if you want to feed it to another monitor or source of that nature. And a quick little thing also, if you take off these threads from the side, unhook them, you can detach the eye loop from the EVF, and then you'll just have the screen by itself. And you have your EVF separate to play around with, so it's detachable. But so far, that's basically it as far as the exterior. Pretty simple build, not too many additional features or functions. Like I said, material kind of on the not as durable side, so be careful when handling and storing this. We're going to go ahead and go through the menus. Now, basically these menus on this EVF is pretty simple and straight to the point. So there's not a lot of advanced stuff you need to worry about, and a lot of this stuff can also be done without going to the menu, but we'll get into that. As you can see also, some of you may recognize already as looking through my screen, I am running the Magic Lantern firmware on my T3i, so as you know, that in itself has a lot of features to use while shooting. But if you don't have that program, this EVF comes with some nice useful features to help with your shooting experience. We're going to go ahead and go through them. As you recall, there was 4 buttons on the top of the EVF. You had your menu, your minus or down button, your plus or up button, and your exit button. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the menu button. And as you can see, we bring up a blue box and we have a few sub menus. Right now, I'm going to hit the down button or the minus. We see we have color, OSD or on-screen display, function, sound. Sound you probably will not be using that much because you usually will have an external audio source you're recording from anyway to reference. So yeah, that may become handy when you're playing back some footage through the EVF if you wanted to go about doing that. But we're going to get to color. The first main menu and probably the most important sub menu on the EVF. The color function here, you hit the menu button, you're able to get into the menu. You have your brightness, contrast, hue, saturation, check field, color temperature. Now let's go to brightness. To select that and make adjustments, you would just hit the menu button again. As you can see, you hit your plus or minus to lower the value or increase the value. As far as the brightness, this EVF, the brighter you get, the kind of hazier it can get. So more of, instead of for color calibration, this is just to control the backlight of your image being projected out. So I actually had to bring this down pretty low. I think I had it at 33, which is pretty much similar brightness to what you're getting if you're looking directly at the DSLR monitor. As far as the Canon ones, I don't know how the other ones work, like the Nikons or Panasonics. I've never used those. But you got your brightness. Once you get a set variable, you're going to hit your exit button. And you come out of that. You got your contrast, hue, saturation. You have your check field, which will right now is off, but if I hit menu, it'll let me be able to monitor my reds, green, blue, or in a monochrome, black and white, or we just turn that back off. Which also, you can also do this without having to go through the menu, which I'll show you later on. Hit the exit button, get out of that. We're going to go down. You have your color temperature. You hit your menu button. You have a user profile, which lets you adjust your reds, greens, and blues. You have the 9300K, 75K, and you have your 65K. Yes, 6500K. Which is probably where I left it at anyway. This is probably the closest color temperature that I've been able to get, which is pretty much the same color warmth and temperature as the Canon LCD. We're going to exit out of that. And to get back into the main sub menu, you hit your exit button again. Now we're going to go down to on-screen display. And this feature here mostly deals with the actual menu box that pops up. We hit the menu button, you go in here, you can select your language that everything is displayed in. You have your Japanese, French, Italian, Dutch, so on, Espanol. I'm going to go back up to English because that's the primary language we're going to be working with in this video. Hit the exit button. You can get out that menu. Now you have your horizontal and your vertical positions. You select these. This basically helps you place where you want your menu box to display. Right now I'm adjusting the horizontal. When I have that confirmed, I just hit the menu button. Go down. I select my vertical position. I will hit the menu button again to select it. And I can also move it up or down using my minus and plus button, or up and down. Once you do that, just hit the menu again to confirm. And you have your timeout function, which basically, if you've been on the menu for a while and you haven't done any controls or made any changes, it will automatically exit out of the menu for you. So right now I got it to set after 60 seconds of no no input or functioning, the menu will automatically just disappear. Now there's transparent mode, which I actually like. I turned it off so you get a better view of the menu. But when you turn this on, it decreases. Well, you can turn it off, or you can adjust the opacity of the blue box. And so it more overlays, so you can still see your image in the background and still see what's going on back there while you make your menu adjustments, which could come in handy, especially if you're trying to calibrate your monitor and need to see your picture and things of that nature. So what I actually have that at, usually I have it about right there, which is almost very transparent. So I'm gonna hit my menu to confirm that. And I have that at 5, I believe. Yes. Excuse me for my having to guess. I'm kind of looking at an awkward angle, so I'm able to show you a good view of the menu. But once you select that, you exit out. Then you're back into your sub-menu function. You can go down again. You have your function menu. You have reset, which basically just going to reset everything back to default how you had it before you made any adjustments. Display ratio 16:9, or you can switch to 4:3. We're going to stay 16:9 because that's where we would normally be shooting at, especially on this camera. You have your screen markers, which, as you can see, my Magic Lantern also has some itself. Which, let me actually take off. I'm going to reach around here a little bit. Excuse me for that. And let me exit out the menu real quick. Just hit the exit button twice. You'll be out of that. Let me take off the crop marks. You can't really see them too much. There's a little white outline. And I'm going to go back to the menu. Let me adjust it. I have it at 95%, which basically you'll see a white border, which basically is able to help you keep everything framed up accordingly. And this is usually the border in your action safe range. Now, you can also hit menu and you can take it to 90%, 96, 85, 80. And I think 80% range, that's when you're getting into your title safe margin. So I'm going to just select that, exit out real quick. And yeah, you can probably see the border a little bit better. So you see your little reference of framing is smaller when you adjust the percentage. Let me get back in the menu, go back down to the function. And we have our center marker, which let me turn that on. And you'll be able to see a little, you probably can barely see it. I'm not sure how it's showing up in the picture, but it's a little plus sign, which will allow you to let you know where your center of your frame is at. So if you have a subject or something you're shooting and you're trying to keep them framed up in the center, you know exactly how they are relative to the frame with the center marker. Okay, let's go back to the menu. I want to discuss one other thing that is pretty, or definitely I feel is pretty important to discuss. And this is this camera feature. Now, thing about this, which I seen was advertised, also, they also referred to it as 5D mode, which if you've used the external monitor before with a Canon DSLR, you pretty much have an idea what that is supposed to do. If not, do a little research, you'll understand the whole thing with the HDMI output while recording issue that goes on and how they have monitors out there that's supposed to help with that problem. Now, this EVF I got was advertised to have this feature. There was plenty of other ones out there as well, but looking through the stats and the features, they didn't have it listed as one of the features. So, one, I don't know if all of them have that feature. Just some of the people that are selling these EVFs did not have that listed, or there are some actual monitors, or excuse me, actual EVFs, which do not have this feature. So, just for safe monitoring while you're shopping, look around, see if they're advertising that feature. Because if you are shooting on the DSLR, as far as I know, with the Canon, the earlier models, your 5D Mark IIs, T3Is, T2Is, 60D, you already know the issue they have with that. Actually, I think my monitor timed out. But anyway, you go. And what you do is, right now it's on. If I turn this off, you'll see what happens. I'm going to hit off. Now we're just going to review it in the regular monitoring mode. And as you see, my image gets all distorted and everything because it is, I don't know, some crazy thing with Canon going on and the HDMI. Yeah. So that's a very important feature you see. I'm not sure if all the EVFs have this feature, but I don't want you to purchase one and be stuck out of luck because you ended up getting one that doesn't have this feature. So make sure you look to see if they have that feature listed. It's one of the main things. And let me put that back on. And also the other main thing is, I forgot to note, you'll also be able to record without any blanking out. So let me do just a quick record, but see? We're recording. No blanking out. None of that. Image still in the same aspect. No distorting, no dropping of frames. So yeah, that's why that feature is important, especially if you're shooting on a Canon DSLR. Look for that feature. Like I said, I can't confirm that all the EVFs being sold have that feature. Some just not advertising it, but I know that I do see some being advertised as a feature. So that might be something you want to consider when shopping for this. Let's see, I think we went basically through the menu. Voice getting dry, excuse me. But yeah, and then we have our sound menu. So we're going to exit out. Now, as I was saying, there are some features on here that are not in the menu that you can access with just your plus or minus button. Yeah, been talking a while, so voice getting scratchy. But first thing I want to point out is the focus peaking feature, which is to help when you're out trying to grab your subject or trying to get a good focus. Right now, let me turn that on. All you need to do is just hit the minus button, and that brings up your focus peaking. What it do is, as you can see, it creates a very sharp highlighted overlay over top of the edges of your image. As you see, as I get out of focus, they disappear. When I get the image in focus, you see the nice sharp overlay appear. And this is good to help you reference your focus. You can just hit the minus to turn that off. Turn that on when you need help with your focus, or just leave it on. And it's not going to get recorded onto your footage. I mean, you probably already know that anyway, so that's nothing new. The other thing is if you hit the plus button, you also bring up the monochrome feature again. There's your red, your greens, your blues. And then you have your monochrome. And then you're back. So those two features you can actually, especially monochrome, which you can access in the menu, but you don't need to go to the menu to access that. You can actually just access that hitting the plus button. Another thing I noticed is if you hit the exit button, I believe it activates the camera mode as well. So you don't even have to go to the menu to activate that. Just hit the exit button. And I'm going to do a quick little education lesson for those who may not be fully understood what I was talking about the HDMI problem. While I'm out of camera mode, I'm going to go ahead and try to record and see. Okay. Well, it's still recording, no dropout. Maybe because the signal on this monitor is only 800 by 480, so it's already receiving a 480 image scaled down. So that could be one thing. Usually a higher resolution monitor, you'll have your dropout and everything, but as you see, my image is still distorted. So I'm gonna turn the camera feature back on with the, just hit up the exit button. And this will work when I'm not in the menu mode. So there you go, back to normal. Alright, so I already went through the menus and everything. Basically, I'm just going to discuss real quick, look into it using the eye loop. Now, of course, when you don't have your eye loop in use, you just let up and you have a nice view of the screen. But say when you're on your shoulder rig and you're ready to, shoot, and you need to just use your eye loop. This pretty much, actually get a better view. I'm sorry, this little handy cam, it's not really grabbing what I want, but it gives you a little idea of what you're seeing. As far as you see your main picture in frame, your main subject, pretty good image. As you can see, you can still see your focusing. Put on the focus peaking feature. You see how that helps out. So yeah, I mean, the main thing with this is the subject. You can still get a nice view of your subject. Now the outer edge, is kind of through this little magnifying glass. It's kind of pushed out a little bit, but it's not very noticeable, and it doesn't affect your shooting or you're trying to frame your subjects that you're filming. Not really a big major issue. It was just something I noticed. I really am not able to show it right now, but like I said, it's pretty minor and it really doesn't affect anything with your framing and shooting. As far as your central area, everything is good. You can still see clearly and everything. So you got your focus ring, which allows you to adjust for your eye, get in focus. You probably don't notice too much. You probably see a little bit, but yeah. So that's it. So that's just a quick view of how it would look if you're using your eye loop. So hopefully this review helped you out. Basically, in my opinion, I actually like this EVF. It's pretty good introductory EVF. Like I said, if you're on a budget, starting out, need something introductory for your EVF needs, not looking to pay Zacuto money or Small HD money, this is definitely something to go with. Like I said, it's new to the market. So right now, there's still many unknowns about this EVF, but as far as my first initial introduction, definitely is something worth to consider. And I definitely give you the okay to go ahead and get one. Like I said, be careful with it now because the build is kind of not on the heavy duty end. So you definitely want to look into that. Also, I do encourage, even though, this is a good start EVF, if you plan on getting heavy into your film, video work of that nature, you may want to look down the line to upgrading. But as I said, this is definitely a good EVF to start out with and be introduced to. Definitely something to suit your needs. Menu's pretty simple. Picture quality is very nice. So that's how I feel about that. So Hopefully this will help you feel more comfortable. I know there have been probably a few of you out there who have been looking at this EVF and have interest. So now I have this video review here to maybe help you out and give you some information. I have specs in the comments or in my description below, some links to where you can go see some other reviews that are online or read about. And basically that is it. So hopefully I hope you enjoyed the review. Any questions, comments, just leave them down in the comment box and I'll try to get back at you. Again, my name is Sean Bonner and I represent Fusion Media Group. Look out for some of our film work we have coming soon and things of that nature. So hopefully I'll be getting back at you soon. Probably won't be a review or anything, but like I said, we do have some big stuff in the works, so we will be introducing it to the YouTube community. So hopefully I'll be seeing you again. So take care.